How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that has been something that has been on my mind since the recent umbral chest that came into the game, and it's something that I feel like I'm surprised I've not thought about it before. I've also seen something that was very similar to my thoughts on it as well from somebody else on Twitter, and this is what made me realize that actually I could make a video on this. The reason I wanted to make a video wasn't just to give you my opinion, but also mainly to get yours from it. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks about it and where everyone stands. Basically, what I'm talking about is the umbral chests and treasure hunter, including cash prizes. And I'm not just talking like small cash prizes like the coin pouches. I'm talking about the big 200 mil drops that you can get from the umbral chests that get pushed into the game, that you can get from the multiple chests like the 8 times, the 2 times, those sort of chests. This could actually lead to a hell of a lot of cash being injected into the game. And I know with these umbral chests that just got added, there was a lot. Like, there was a ton. I know so many people that won the 200 mil prize that it's not even funny. Like, so many people won that 200 mil prize. I wanted to make this video mainly not to just sort of give my opinion on it, like I say, but just to hear what your thoughts are, because I'm interested in seeing where everyone stands and reading through all your opinions in the comments. So the job for you guys today is, once you've listened through, once you've heard the points and stuff that I just want to talk about, because like I say, it's not very opinionated, I'm just going to give some ideas and thoughts on it, then get in the comments and share your thoughts as well, because while I am very mid-ground on this, whether they should stay or whether they shouldn't, there's definitely some stuff that are negatives, and I suppose there's also some stuff that is positives, but yeah, we'll talk about that. Anyway, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can probably minimize the video. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you want to minimize, then do so and just listen in the background. But after a super long intro, let's go. Okay, so I've already mentioned about the 200 mil prizes just bringing cash into the game. It's been a cash injection that the game probably doesn't really need, seeing as we're always worried about gold sinks, right? We have death cost, it's a gold sink. We have plenty of other things like invention, which is an item sink as well. But we're always looking for other ways to sink gold in the game because it causes inflation, and getting rid of that gold from the game completely is always good. That being said, the first point I want to talk about actually has nothing to do with gold sinks in the slightest. It just takes that off the table. There's nothing to do with it. What I wanted to mention is Treasure Hunter is available to new players. It's available to people who start straight away, and it can make a big difference to the game if you receive that cash at the wrong time. A brand new player who has just started may get really excited if they see a 50, 100 or 200 mil drop in their Treasure Hunter prize. They're like, wow, that is a lot of money, right? That's so much. I started with 25 GP. I've been like working really hard for the last hour or so, and I've only made like 3k, which might actually be pretty decent for someone who's just played the game for the very first time. Getting a 200 mil cash prize is game ruining. At that point, 200 mil, you will not need that for so freaking long. As a new player, getting that handed to you just takes away so much content, right? Like, you don't need to work towards getting stuff. You don't need to really worry about money for the foreseeable future until, frick, that would actually get you most of the Bible skills. If you do that on double XP, that's most of the Bible skills done, handed to you straight away from one 200 mil drop. I actually have kind of some experience with this as well, because when my partner started playing, I got her into the game, she was playing the game, she got to around about level 40. She got her first bond because I gave it to her, and then she did her treasure hunter keys. So she'd already used one from free to play, and then as soon as she got to members, she gets her extra 1 key because she's a member now, right? And you get 2 a day. She spun that one, and she got 50 mil handed to her straight away. 50 mil cash straight away, no effort, no need to work. And while this was great at first, like, she could go to the Grand Exchange, buy some cool stuff, pay for some skills, the issue with a 50 mil or 100 mil prize probably comes more from once that money's gone, because they've got that money straight away. They haven't had to go out and earn it. They don't know the value of how long it takes to actually make that much money. So newer players, straight away they get that much money, they think, wow, that was easy, I'm on 50 mil already. I can go spend this, buy that, buy this. They don't realize that's going to go pretty quick on certain things if they're upgrading all their skills. But then suddenly they need to go make money, and they don't want to do things that are going to make them 500k to 1 mil an hour. As a low level player, you can probably expect you're making around about 500k an hour, and that's probably good, especially as someone who is like very low level and new to the game. However, as someone who has just been handed 100 mil, 50 mil or even 200 mil, you are not going to want to go and do that because you've had all this money already and you've never had to go out and do that before. So you kind of don't have that value of money. You just kind of feel like, well, I've had it before, why not give me it again? So it can affect the gameplay for them that way, I suppose, but also, like I say, it skips a ton of content. If a brand new player gets given 200 mil, they miss out on the whole, I need to go out and make this money, I need to do Slayer to get some money so I can fund like my prayer. I need to go out and do mining so I can do my smithing, because I can't afford to buy the ores, so I want to go mine them myself, smith them into bars, and then I'll smith that into some armor and sell that later, or I'll just sell the bars maybe, and I'll make some money from it with that. And then with that money I can use that to do my crafting, and then once my crafting's higher, I can do, you can see where this is going, right? You have to go out and do stuff, you have to play the game to progress your account, and that is a huge part of why RuneScape's fun. For you guys who have leveled an account from right at the beginning all the way towards like max, or even just a high level account, or even just like a mid to end game account for other people who are listening, you should probably know at this point that a lot of the enjoyment comes from the progress or the achievements that you've done personally on your account. Having that taken away by handing you 200 mil straight away just kind of doesn't feel that good, and it can take a lot away from that, because you've not really put the effort in, you've just been handed it, and it's almost like getting into a new game where cheats are enabled the entire time and it's always in your face telling you to use it, and you don't have a choice really not to use it. It just automatically does it. You're max level, you got the most gold in the game, you don't have to work towards anything, because what's the point? It takes away the achievement, it takes away a lot of the actual enjoyment, and that's personally to me probably where the biggest issue would come in, I suppose. But then the problem is, at the same time, for someone who is level 100 in combat and they are working their ass off to get towards, I don't know, level 95 prayer or something, if they get a 50 mil or 100 mil drop or even 200 mil, they can use that so much, and they're already at the point where it probably won't ruin their game, because they understand what it's like to actually grind for money. So when they get that, it's just a big excitement, and it unlocks quite a big part of the game for them, because they've already worked on the other stuff. So I'm very torn. I'm torn between the idea of, what if a brand new player gets 200 mil? Like, that's the freaking ton of money, or 50 mil even, because you can definitely get 50 mil. I don't know if it scales between the 50 and the 200, but you can 100% get 50 mil on a brand new account, because my partner did. And it's definitely changed the way she's played the game, because rather than going out and grinding like chickens or something to get a bit of gold like we would have used to, it just doesn't seem to be quite as enjoyable to do that, because I never needed to before, right? So what do you guys think about this one? Do you think that this could actually ruin the game for beginner players, or do you think that maybe it should just be removed from a certain combat level, below a certain combat level, or a certain total skill level even? Maybe not combat, but a skill level. You just shouldn't be able to get it as a drop, or including the 50 mil drop as well, like all cash prizes. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? The next point I wanted to make was, there's quite a lot of times in the game where there's going to be bugs that allow Treasure Hunter to be abused. It's happened in the past, it will happen again, it's just the way games work, bugs just happen. When they make a new promotion, there's a good chance that something may slip by again, whether they make it so that you can get unlimited oddments again by accident, and then buy unlimited keys, or whether there's some other bug that just lets you keep spinning. We're just not going to know. We can't blame Jagex for this, because that is just the way the game development works. There's going to be some intricate little things every now and again that they can't pick up on testing, because it's just something they're testing amongst maybe 10, 20 people, just isn't going to find the issue. But when you put that public to thousands of players, there's going to be one person who finds it, tells their friend, who tells their friend, and then suddenly everybody knows about it. The only issue with this is, if there is something like the 200 mil cash prize on there, having access to bugs that can literally just let you spin and spin and spin like crazy opens the door to people abusing the living hell out of this and flooding the game with more coins. We're always talking about gold sinks, we're always talking about the fact that there's a lot of alchables that brings gold to the game as well. Well, if there's a bug that allows you to constantly spin for keys and constantly use oddments to get more, which it may not be in game at the moment, but likely will happen again in the future, this could definitely be a big problem. Also, maybe the umbral chests go a little bit buggy and they allow us to keep reusing them for a day or something, or someone figures something out to be able to keep flying through those too. You could just end up with so much gold added to the game. And while yes, I'm sure Jagex could trace some of that down and get rid of it, would they? Because I know for a fact, the last time there was a treasure hunter bug and people got unlimited oddments, they could just keep like opening keys, getting more oddments, opening more keys, getting even more oddments, and keep repeating the cycle. Oddments would stack up, and bonus experience was ridiculous, because they were getting all this bonus experience from the lamps and the stars, all that sort of stuff. And it actually ended up in the point where Jagex did ban those accounts for about 14 days or 7 days, depending on how much you actually abused it. But I know a few people who got banned for the max amount of time, and when they came back, they had all their oddments, they had all of their bonus experience, they had all of the items they got from the treasure hunter, the springs, the silverhawk feathers, all that sort of good stuff. None of it was taken away. So will they go through and remove the gold, or will they just issue out a couple of bans and say, don't do this in the future, and then slap on the wrist, and then not actually go through the accounts and remove the gold? Because if they don't, that's a big problem. What if as soon as this is found, someone makes 10 accounts, they log onto all of them, and they just sit there, click, 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 200 mil, 200 mil, 200 mil, and they just transfer all that off. It's just really hard to say that there'll never be another treasure hunter bug in the future, because it's happened already. I believe it's happened a few times, so it will likely happen again. And that's, like I say, that's not Jagex's fault really, because they can test stuff when they have it, but they only have so many people to test with before they make it go live. And then as soon as it goes live, all these players are trying it, and everyone does little things, and someone accidentally finds something, and then suddenly hundreds, thousands of players are going through doing the exact same bug, exploiting it, thinking, well, no one else really got exploited in the past, so are we going to get exploited now? And then once it gets to a point where thousands of players have done the same thing, they can't just ban thousands of players for a couple of weeks. Like, they just can't. If there was like 30k average players and 10,000 players have gone through and done this treasure hunter thing, they can't just ban those 10,000 players. They just won't, because it's just too big of a player base, right? So this is another reason maybe it should be removed, because if you do have the bugs, then it could allow for that to be a really big issue. But that being said, on the opposite side of that, if there is a treasure hunter bug, and whether the 200 mil is involved or not, it's already a big issue. There's loads of stuff like I said, silver hull feathers, there's the coin pouches, there's all the bonus experience, oddments that you can then spend on more keys in the future. There's so much stuff that would already be an issue anyway. Would adding the 200 mil really be that big of a deal? I don't know. This is why I wanted to make this video though, so you guys can let me know what you think. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm sat here thinking, is there any real reason to give us just 200 mil out of nowhere? If it wasn't for that, I'm still very much on the fence, other than that very single point. Anyway, the next point is gold sinks, so let's talk about that. Gold sinks. Gold sinks is something that a lot of players talk about a lot, Jagex talks about a lot, and it is very important to the game. Having a player-driven economy means that there's going to be inflation in the game, especially when there's a lot of players going out killing bosses, alching items, and doing lots of other stuff in the game to bring coins directly in the game as a drop. If there was no gold sinks in the game, items would be worth way more than they are now due to inflation, but that would just be scaled. So think of it like this. An item that's worth 100 mil now, if there was never any gold sinks, because gold would be valued so much less because there will be so much more of it in the game, that item could be worth 500 mil. And while that 500 mil may only be worth about 100 mil depending on inflation rates and stuff, that number would still be up there. It just basically means that inflation's got so bad that money is just not worth as much as it was the longer time goes on. But because of gold sinks, this kind of counteracts it a little bit. So say 100 mil is brought into the game and then people die, so they're paying the death costs, which is just pure cash taken out of the game and deleted. Or there's the well of goodwill where people donate their cash to be able to give some money to charity, which deletes money from the game as well. And then all the coins that are dropped on the ground, the little bits here and there, all add up as well, so that's all removed as well. And there's a lot of stuff that does sink gold in this game, but it's really important and there's a reason that we have them. But if we have these gold sinks and that's such a big deal, it's such a big problem, why are we then just introducing pure cash stacks through Treasure Hunter? Now the issue with this is, one, it is just creating cash. It is like getting a 200 mil coin drop from killing a boss. It is rare as frick to get one of these on the Treasure Hunter, but with so many people spinning every single day, 2 keys every single day for every single member, that's a hell of a lot of keys, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone wins this every single day. Especially when these events come around as well, like the umbral chests. They have pushed so many of the cash stacks into the game because everyone got 4 umbral chests. Now there's a good chance of winning them through that because it's pretty much like giving a purple prize every single time. So just considering it, that's a lot of cash coming into the game. Would we not be better off removing this from one of the options, one of the prizes, and then maybe we can look at either just having that as something extra that cash just isn't coming into the game, or places that are used as a gold sink that aren't necessarily the best design, like death costs. Death costs are something that people will always disagree about. I am very mid-ground on this as well. I don't mind paying with the death costs, but I can also see why it should be fixed. So it's something that Jagex are looking at the moment, but they're worried about gold sink. So could we not remove the 200 mil prizes or any cash prizes whatsoever, coins, like specifically just coins from Treasure Hunter, and then whatever money that saves, use that to sort of help adjust death costs a little bit? I don't know. Again, we would have to know exactly how much is brought into the game on a daily basis, but this is just like ideas that I'm throwing out there, and I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. Do you think it'll be enough? Do you think it will be nowhere near enough? I think it may help a little bit, and you can maybe reduce it by like a couple of %, and it may just add up over time. Who knows? What do you guys think? Do you think that there's going to be too much of this coming into the game where it probably does affect the actual inflation rate of coins? Or do you think that there's probably not that much of it coming into the game, people aren't winning it that often, where it just doesn't really matter? I'm interested in seeing what you guys think, because I know quite a lot of people who do win cash prizes a lot. I've won 1 in my entire time of playing, which was only 50 mil. So personally, just winning 1, it could be rare as hell. But then I know people who've won 200 mils, and I know people who've won like 3 times 200 mils on those ones, and like the 6 times and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, it's really hard to sort of place how bad of a thing this would be. So the last few things were pretty much all negatives and saying things like it should probably benefit the game to be removed. And that's not necessarily the entire truth as well, right? Because 200 mil cash prizes or any cash prize whatsoever is going to sell treasure hunter keys. it is going to sell bonds for people who want to convert those to treasure hunter keys, and it's going to help fund the game through things like the deal with Amazon Prime on getting the Prime deals and that sort of thing. This is all important for helping fund the game and bringing like income to the actual company, and so long as that income is being reused to invest back into the game and improve the game, then that's a good thing, right? Because they're going to be spending their money on the game, improving the game in different aspects, and that's obviously a good thing. More content, more updates, more fixes. I don't know, it's really difficult because I guarantee people will buy more treasure hunter keys because there is a cash prize there. People will buy more bonds with in-game GP to actually convert into treasure hunter keys as well when there's a good promo that looks like they could win a 200 mil, and people will use Amazon Prime more to be able to get those umbral keys. And using Amazon Prime and claiming the RuneScape thing, I assume RuneScape gets a cut of how many Prime claims are actually done or something like that. They'll get some sort of payment from it to actually be able to have that in their game because they're helping Amazon sell Prime subscriptions by offering loot through their game. So this is great. Jagex are making money through it. They're able to reinvest this into the game. At least we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt that at least some of the money that they make from this is going back into the game. Of course, it must be for them to keep doing updates and paying wages, all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely not a bad thing all around. And like I said in the first point, as a new player, it could affect your gameplay because if you only have like 500k, getting given 100 mil, 50 mil or 200 mil is game changing, and it could be game ruining. But for someone who has 500 mil, 600 mil, they're just getting into PVM, they're just starting off, and they've been grinding away for hours and hours, and they're getting a little bit fed up. Getting a 200 mil drop could get them that next thing they wanted to keep them in the game. It could be really good. It could make sure that they stay in the game, make sure they stay around. It could change their game for the better. So there's definitely some benefits as well, and it's not all just negatives. And this is why I'm on the fence and cannot decide which side of the garden to hop onto, because it could be removed. This could be great because it would remove gold from the game being injected straight away. It would remove the fact that a brand new player would no longer be able to get that, and it would also sort of future-proof anything to do with bugs, allowing people to just duplicate basically 200 mil gold over and over again if that ever does happen. But then on the other side of the fence, we've got the fact that it could keep some players playing the game because they could be going dry ridiculously at some places, or they could just be starting to feel the grind a bit too much now and feel like they need a break, and that could change their mind on it. And then at the same time, it makes the company more money too by pushing more sales and getting them a better deal with Amazon if that's how it works. I assume it is. And that's good for the game as well, for better content, for more stuff in the future, for just making sure the company is more profitable, which turns the game into something better as well eventually. Of course it does. So like I say, I am very mid-ground with this. I cannot make my mind up, so that's why I've made this video. Get in the comments, guys, share your thoughts. There's going to be some people that disagree with what you say. You're probably going to disagree with what some others say. And like I say, all the stuff in this video hasn't really been my opinion on what should happen. It's just, this is an option that could happen. This is another one that could happen. And I just don't really know where to go with it. So I thought, interesting style of video. I will tell you guys what's been on my mind, and then you can tell me what you guys think. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. Do get in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I'll be very interested, of course, as always. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I do stuff like this quite often where I'll just be talking and like going over topics and stuff like that. If you enjoy that sort of thing, then definitely do subscribe. Thank you to my channel members for all the extra support. I really do appreciate it, of course. As always, your names will be on screen right now. If anyone else is interested in joining the channel members, give the join button a click by the subscribe button, and you can see what perks you do get while you support the channel, and it is always really appreciated. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to comment down below, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.